Hello, my name is Michelle Whitlock. I am an Australian trained primary school teacher who is applying for a place in the USA employment program. In this video, I will be answering the following questions regarding my teaching philosophy, my idea of good lesson plan, and how I believe I have made a difference in the lives of my students. My teaching philosophy is my belief that every child is capable of achieving and reaching their full potential with the right support. I believe that all children should have access to the curriculum, despite any learning needs they may have and any difficulties they may encounter. I believe that children should be engaged in their learning and take responsibility and ownership for their learning as much as possible. For this reason, I favour inquiry-based teaching, as it gives children a sense of ownership over their work and helps them to pursue things that are of interest to them. I strive to make my classroom a safe and secure learning environment, where students feel valued and supported. This is something that I pride myself on. I focus on developing relationships with my students and making sure that I understand their academic, social, and emotional needs. I encourage parents to be involved in the classroom, and I actively foster open relationships between myself and parents. I use a wide variety of behaviour management strategies, mainly focusing on positive reinforcement and acknowledgement for correct behaviour, while applying appropriate consequences for students who display negative behaviour. I believe that any good lesson plan is based on using a wide variety of activities and different instructional techniques to engage all learners in their learning. In a typical lesson, students should be able to understand what the aim or the question is of the lesson, and be provided with steps to success which they can use in order to achieve their goal. The first 10 to 15 minutes of a lesson should be focused on the teacher delivering instructional content and modelling for students the steps they need to take in order to complete this concept. After this, the students should work collaboratively with the teacher in order to understand their newly acquired skills, and so the teacher can assess at this stage which students are confident with the topic and what students require extra assistance. After this, students will complete differentiated tasks. It is important that the students complete differentiated tasks so they are working at a task that challenges them sufficiently. To complete the lesson, the teacher will come back together with students and will allow time for a plenary. In this plenary, it can take many forms, such as an exit slip where students respond to a given question, showing student work and discussing what is good about it and how it has met the outcome that has been stated at the start of the lesson, or providing another question that will link to later learning later on. This form of instructional time is an explicit teaching model: I do, we do, you do. In the I do section, the teacher models the task to students. In the we do, the teacher works collaboratively with the students to cement their understanding of the new skills required. And in you do, the students then take the knowledge that they have gathered and apply it to an independent task. Over the course of my teaching career, I've worked with a variety of students with additional learning needs. Some of these learning needs have related to learning difficulties and ability to receive the curriculum. Others have been more related to emotional needs and emotional well-being. In my class this year, I have had a student who, in his family background and family history, has encountered a wide variety of abuse and difficult circumstances. Because of his circumstances, he has found it difficult to connect with people in authority, and often has outbursts and difficulties dealing with his emotions, especially emotion of anger. Sometimes throughout the course of the year, there have been stumbling blocks. One of these stumbling blocks that we encountered was his attitude towards his writing. This student is a competent writer and a very good storyteller. However, had gotten into his head that he could not achieve in this area. In order to alleviate some of the stress and the trauma associated with doing this task, I differentiated my instruction and I allowed him to work with ICT-based equipment, which allowed him to produce a high level of work to a high standard that he was very proud of. This helped him to feel a sense of achievement and helped him to feel more confident in his abilities to progress. I believe I've made a difference in his life in the fact that I focus on relationships. I focus on relationships with all my students, and I show consistency with them every day because I understand the need for consistency, especially with children who have dealt with emotional trauma. Working with children such as this is one of the reasons why I've decided to pursue a Master's in Education focusing on educational well-being, because I believe that unless a child feels safe and secure, they cannot achieve their full potential, and I would like to do something to change that. I thank you very much for considering my video, and I hope to hear from you soon.